When you are the longest reigning British monarch and the longest reigning female monarch in world history, it's very easy for people to be convinced that they know all there is to know about you. However, that is almost not the case. On the 9th of September 2022, the entire people of England couldn't help but notice the odd sound from all of its churches. It was a sound that had never been heard in all of their lives, and immediately they were all thrown into instant mourning for the first time in almost 71 years. The beloved monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, was no more. But apart from being the monarch of 15 different countries in the Commonwealth and having a troubled royal family with quite a lot of controversies, there are a lot of things people are unaware of when it comes to the life of the departed Queen Elizabeth II. And so, today's video will be centered around 10 things you sure didn't know about Queen Elizabeth II. Number 1. Bagpipes as alarms. Unlike the regular counter, who makes sure to set an alarm before they go to bed so they can be woken by the alarm, the Queen never had to wake up to an alarm clock. Instead, the Queen was always awoken by her personal bagpiper that played right outside her window for about 15 minutes every single day at 9 a.m. The piper is known as Piper to the Sovereign and was known personally by the Queen herself to the point where she could tell if anyone else aside from this particular piper were playing the bagpipes. Number 2. The stable of racehorses. Queen Elizabeth II had always been an ardent rider, as she started riding at the young age of 3 years. And by the time she turned 4 years of age, Elizabeth got her very first pony from her grandfather, King George V, as a birthday present. She named the Shetland pony, which was her first, Susan. Ever since then, the Queen went ahead to breed racehorses and has owned a good number of award-winning horses that have won over 1,600 races. And as you would imagine, with such a record and a position that she holds, the Queen was a patron of the Thoroughbred Breeders Association and had all the necessary knowledge about the industry. She even made it a priority to attend one of the biggest horse shows in the world, the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Number 3. For the love of Corgis. Aside from her love and passion for racehorses, another animal the Queen loved very much was her little Corgis. You most definitely have seen most of Queen's pictures along with her Corgis. Her very first Corgi was Susan, which, just like her pony, was a birthday present her father got her when she turned 18. After Susan, the Queen went on to breed about 30 more Pembroke Welsh Corgis that were all descendants of Susan, and sadly, the very last one of that descendant, Willow, died in 2018. But apart from her Corgis, Queen Elizabeth II also bred a mix of Corgis and Dachshunds, which she referred to as Dorgis. Number 4. The intruder. With all of the security in Buckingham Palace, in the year 1982, a man named Michael Fagan somehow got access to the Queen's bedroom. According to the reports that were later made, it was said that the Queen had simply and calmly asked him what he was doing in her bedroom and used the next 10 minutes of her time to stall till security came to get him out. However, after investigations were made and Fagan was interrogated, he had another story to tell. According to him, the Queen wasn't patient enough to have a chat with him. Instead, she immediately ran past him and went straight out of the room. Number 5. The Sneaky Sisters. The Queen and her younger sister had sneaked out to be a part of the celebrations at the end of the war. At the end of the war, on the 8th of May, 1945, Elizabeth and her younger sister Margaret were allowed to join the crowds that had filled the streets to celebrate the end of the war. According to the Queen, that evening was one of the most memorable nights of her life. She had been a part of the lines of people she never knew who were linking arms, and walked down Whitehall and was completely full of relief and happiness. Number 6. Queen's personal cash machine. As you would already know, the Queen isn't one to carry cash around with her. However, in those rare cases where she is expected to have some cash with her, all she has to do is withdraw whatever amount she may need from a cash machine that is installed in Buckingham Palace by Cooney's Bank, which somehow became the bankers of the British royals ever since 1704. Number 7. Never needed a license. Thanks to the time she had spent in the military, the Queen had all the necessary training she needed to drive not just the usual cars, but also heavy-duty vehicles. And after her coronation in 1952, she had no need for a license to drive. It only made sense because, first, she was queen, and that had its perks. Then there was the fact that licenses in England were always issued in her name. There was simply no need to have one for herself. In fact, she was her own driving license, and that also applied to her passport as well. And that was one perk she made sure to take advantage of by traveling to about 300 states without a passport. Number 8. 150 official portraits. Another thing about being the British monarch, the Queen's picture is one that is seen by millions of people every single day, from banknotes to stamps in the UK. However, there is still a long list of photographs that have featured the Queen, and with that, artworks from different people have been created. But on the other hand, there is a finite number of official portraits that are commissioned to mark a special occasion or by an organization that the Queen has had a long-standing association with. In fact, the very last of her portraits was commissioned on behalf of the British Red Cross, of which she was their patron for about 63 years. Number 9. 2 birthdays. Honestly, I can say there are a number of people who have wished they had 2 birthdays, but except you are Queen Elizabeth II, that is impossible. And while her actual birthday is on the 21st of April 1926 in the UK, she goes ahead to hold another celebration for her birthday on the second Saturday in June. This practice began sometime in 1748 during King George II's reign and was later referred to as the Queen's official birthday. Then there is the fun fact that celebrating her birthday in June gave them the perfect weather to hold an actual outdoor celebration. Number 10. Coupon wedding dress. At the time of her wedding to Prince Philip, it was 1947 and England at the time hadn't completely recovered from the devastation of World War II, and so every single person was trying to get things back in shape. Regardless of the fact that a considerable amount had been saved up for her clothing ration coupons to pay for her dress, Princess Elizabeth at the time still somehow had to scramble here and there for more to cover the bill completely, and even with the contributions made by other women, she felt better using the extra coupons the government had allowed her. With that, Elizabeth was able to walk down the aisle with the love of her life in the Norman Hartnell-designed pearl-encrusted dress that she had always dreamed of. What a happy ending for the Queen. If there are any more facts you wish to add to the long list of things about the Queen, then make sure to leave them in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any more uploads. Thank you very much for watching.